welcome along to another episode. You join us with this R155 screen on. We just moved it out of the old power station there up by Nottingham, Radcliffe and so. They're working on the old ash fields there, so they just go into all the stuff, and then all the ash goes to be recycled. So it's quite a bit of tonnage left. So that's why these screens are there, and they filter out into different grades. So this is being moved up to Matlock, up to a quarry up there. So you're going to join us on this journey now, on the way up. Over there, it's a bit of a kit on this one. You know, she's a bit of a lump. Like I do have it resting on the outriggers, even though she's not quite wide enough to be on the outriggers. But just because she's over 30 ton, I have it resting the outriggers just to give it that stability. Then when going around corners and whatnot, she's not leaning off the trailer. Then she's leaning onto an outrigger like this. So I don't know whether it makes a difference, but it just puts myself at a peace of mind. Yeah, you have got a little bit of an outrigger sticking out by the side, because obviously the outriggers go up to, they're sitting at 3 meters wide at the moment, but just adds that extra little bit of safety, and it looks good as well. So if you get pulled over, it looks like you've paid attention to it, and obviously allowed, for the things like that. Like, so if I've got an excavator on anything like that, even though I don't need the outriggers out to track it on, like a 210 or something like that, I'll still have it sitting on the outriggers where it's parked on the trailer. So we haven't been able to get the drones up lately, just because of where we've been going to. Not everywhere likes us flying drones. That is the thing, you get the weather, I guess, and then you go to the places where you can't get them up in the air. So it is a bit of a shame, but it is what it is. Not everywhere you can get them up, like, get the drones up. I have to watch him because he's starting to come across over to this side. I don't know what he's doing. Weren't paying attention to my side anyway, that's for sure. Going that way. This is just hang back fire there, just to make sure that they didn't cross my path without even realising it. Thought he was going to cut in last minute. He didn't. So we're going to go on the M1 now up to Chesterfield. So we'll catch back with you once we get up there. Well, we've got to Chesterfield. We just spent a good 15 minutes in traffic here because they got temporary lights on the roundabout, which is an absolute nightmare, because as you're coming into Chesterfield down the 617, you got basically a junction which joins, which makes a third lane, but that was closed off, so everybody's trying to merge across as well, and you've got the temporary traffic lights, and then everybody's queuing on the roundabout because the temporary traffic lights ain't as well timed as what the other traffic lights are, and it does cause a little bit of a chaos and the tailback. So you do have to be careful around Chesterfield, just because there's cars have got a tendency of, I want to get in front of him, and you have got these two little lane sections, but then when it comes up to roundabouts, and not all the lanes go the same way as what other lanes go to, and of course then they try to cut in front of you, or they'll put their indicator on when they sit next to you in their blind spot, and then they toot in the horn in because you haven't seen them, and it's, they got just as much do care as what the rest of us have, even though the highway code puts the responsibility on us because we are a larger vehicle, and it's I shouldn't be the guy. Everybody should have the same amount of responsibility on the road, regardless whether you're on a bike or whether you're in a truck, everybody should have the same amount of responsibility. Yes, okay, if you're driving a truck, you've got to be a bit more vigilant and everything like that. You can't just take it, but the way they've worded it kind of just says, right, if you're a truck driver, you're going to take the brunt of it regardless. You know, that's the way it should be. Not the way it's worded anyway. But that's the way people assume it is. So we're going to follow the 619 out of Chesterfield. The quarry we actually go into is down by Matlock, but we've got to do a little bit of a dog leg to get to it, just purely because the roads going up to it from Matlock are quite bad. So we've got to go out and come in a more reasonable route for the size of the load that we've got. So we're just going to be turning up towards Matalan there now. I knew we weren't going to catch them lights. So we're just going to keep an eye on these cars on our right hand side, because they will come around the right here, and then obviously we've got to try to come around this corner. There we are, that white car done it. You know, he's all well the good to come around it, you know what I mean, it's not an issue. But what happens is up here is that this left hand lane goes straight on and the right hand lane goes right, and watch how many of these will dart up and try to get in front then. So he knew he was in the wrong, he should have stayed behind me, but he gets the lights and a little bit of a horn there to just remind him that he is an absolute plonker. And you can see that it was coming, the white Merc, he broke the speed limit to get in front, and then this one decided to do it as well. And you know, I mean, I kept my distance back, but we just give him a lights and a little bit of a horn just to remind him that he is a plonker, and that the manoeuvre that he done was not good not good. You know what I mean, he's put himself into my stopping distance and into a crushing zone, and if I had to stop sharpish. But again, it's my responsibility because he did that manoeuvre. But he, like I said, they just want to get in front of the lorry, and that's the type of stuff you've got to put up with. You know what I mean? He didn't need to do that. You haven't gained anything. He's not going to gain anything for another 10 or 15 minutes because the way the roads are. So, but he feels better in himself, doesn't he? So, believe it or not, after all that fuss, that car literally at the next junction went right. So he went to go and get in front of me for absolutely no reason whatsoever. So it just doesn't make sense sometimes. Crazy. Turn off here now, make our way towards the 515. If we continue straight down, that's the quarry, a little bit, just a couple of miles, well, down the hill and a bit further down is where we went to a couple of episodes back, where we took that stacker. So, all in the same locality. It's a lot of quarries around this sort of area, and it takes a lot to learn all these roads, like, you know, I mean, to make sure you know which way you can go into each quarry and whatnot. You know, yeah, okay, you got the movement order to follow, but then, you know, I mean, you've got to memorise the route in, because a sat nav isn't going to bring you in the same way as a movement order will. So you can see the quarry down by there, that one there, that's now discontinued. We were in there not so long back. We were pulling the last of the kit out there. That is Topley Pike quarry. So it's come to the end of its life. The owner of it now, rumour has it that he's going to build a house in the quarry. Yeah, it'd be nice to have that view with the quarry, especially when it's all flooded out and everything. And you've got a nice big lake in front of you. However, the way a quarry is, it's got a tendency of pulling cold air into the quarry. So it's going to be awfully cold in there. So even in the summer months, it'd be nice and cool in the summer months. But then in the winter months, then your heating's going to be on 24/7. Cracking view up here. Damn it. I was hoping he was going to go straight on, but no, he's going down towards Matlock. Oh well. We've got to try to get past him somehow, unless he turns off. Hopefully he turns off. So you can see where we are now. We're just coming up to the quarry. Go make our way up, and the entrance is up the top here. So I haven't been here before, so tipper lorries really need to slow down a bit, don't they? Lime kilns, eh? Here we are, at the quarry. So we have tipped that. I say I couldn't do any recording in it. Managed to get a couple of pictures though, so we'll have a look at them. Try to get some nice shots there, you know, for Facebook and whatnot there. A bit odd seeing unisex toilets on that then. Wonder what that's out. Oh, it's probably camping, man. That's where they've got toilets there. It's probably, they have camping just here probably. That's why that toilet block's there then. Kind of makes sense. So we're kind of guessing where we go next. So I'm just heading back the way we came until we get up over the top of the brow. We'll pull in somewhere. And then we can try to get some signal and make a phone call. I got nothing, and I mean nothing at the moment. It's a proper black spot for my network, and 3's teamed up with, well, they merged with Vodafone, so like in these black spots around Wales, Vodafone tends to be